Alright, Happy New Year, guys. I hope that this first week of the new year has been great for you guys. I haven't spoken to you all since the last day of 2022, but I've really just been reflecting, thinking, and trying to get like an understanding of what I need to do in 2023. And as I was thinking, I came to the realization that stability is ultimately one of the best things that I can prioritize in my life, and that really humans in general just are naturally drawn to wanting to prioritize. Like, naturally humans want to be in a stable state. And when I say stability, I mean stability in your relationships with people in your life, stability when it comes to your mental health, stability when it comes to routines and your physical health, and stability of income, just, overall stability in your life. So for example, if all of your relationships in your life are stable, which means you don't have any unhealthy attachments to people, or you don't have any conflict with people in your life, you're not holding on to any grudges. When all your relationships in your life are stable and healthy, you're not constantly thinking about those relationships in a way that is taking away from the energy that you could be putting into other things in your life. We've all been in a position where we had a conflict with somebody in our life, whether it was a friend or a partner or a family member or whoever. Like, you know how it feels to be in a conflict with somebody that's in your life, and it's like constantly in your head. Like, anytime you're trying to do something, you're just constantly thinking about it. And you can either squash it with that person, like really try to talk it out with that person, or you kind of have to assess whether the situation is able to be squashed. And then at that point, you might just have to stop spending so much time with that person, or whatever the case is obviously different for each person. But having stability in your relationships, like having actual friends that you can spend time with and you can actually talk to and have good interactions with, that's something you should be striving for. Or having one partner, so that you're not constantly going out and seeking relationships with other people. Like, if you have one partner, it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, it's kind of set in stone. Okay, I'm going to be getting my affection from this person, I'm going to be getting support from this person, I'm going to be having great times with this person. Anytime I want to go out and do relationship things, this is the person that I'm going to do it with. But when you don't have a relationship, it's kind of like you might be outside seeking that with multiple different people, and it's unstable. So you can either go that route of, having a partner, like seeking a partner and finding stability in that, or you can just say to yourself, in this point of time, I'm not going to seek out any relationships with anybody in, any form, whether it's like an actual committed relationship or whether I'm just dating and, messing around with people. Like, I think relationships are something that takes up a large part in a lot of people's minds, and it takes up a lot of energy to be constantly in conflict with people or constantly seeking out relations with people. So that's on the relationship side. But also, I think it's important to have stability in your routine. Like, a good routine that encompasses your mental health, your physical health, and just prioritizing your overall state of being. Like, imagine if every day you prioritized your health. So now you almost never went a day having less than 7 hours of sleep. Like, you never had a day where you woke up and you were tired the whole day. You prioritized exercising, so you never had a week where you didn't exercise for at least 2 or 3 days. So now you look in the mirror every week and you feel good about yourself. Imagine you prioritized your mental health consistently, so you rarely had a moment where you were overthinking or anxious, because every day you took time and you either meditated or did something that you enjoyed in the form of like a hobby, went for a walk or whatever it was to clear your mind every single day. Like, imagine just the state of being stable in your life because of the actions that you take every single day or every single week. So that's what I'm prioritizing in 2023. Just taking each step that I need to take in order to be stable in the best possible way that I can. Because once you're stable with your mental health, physical health, relationships, you have so much more energy and so much more time and so much more motivation to do other things. Like, so many times the reason that you're feeling unmotivated to do certain things is because you have things on your mind, or you're physically tired, or you're mentally tired. Like, just overall being physically and mentally overwhelmed is a state that so many people live in consistently. So what would it be like if you prioritized getting those things in order, even if it took a couple months or a few months? Just imagine by the end of 2023, if you had such such stability in your life that you had all the energy physically and mentally in the world. From a mental point of view, you were positive about life and you weren't actively in conflict with people. Think about how much time and energy you could spend on starting that new business, bodybuilding, getting training for that new skill that you want to pursue, getting the education for that career that you want to be in. Like, think of all the things that you could do if everything else in your life was at a relatively stable point. So yeah, that's been my thought process lately. I think that I want to encourage everybody to find stability in each of these points in your life, and then just kind of watch how everything else will fall into place. Like, watch how the motivation comes back into your life, or your desire to do more and do better comes back into your life. But I love you guys, and I can't wait to put out more content for you guys this year. If you've been watching me since last year, early last year, or you know, at any point last year, and you're still here this year, thank you, and I really appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.